25 years of harnessing science and technology for countryside development. 25 years of making lives better for Filipinos, from the lowlands to the mountains, from the cities to the far-flung barangays. 25 years of serving the Filipino people with integrity, with competence, and with love of country. Through the years, the Provincial Science and Technology Centers, or PSTCs, have made the lives of thousands of Filipinos better through science and technology. The Department of Science and Technology started then as National Science Development Board in 1958, then became the National Science Technology Authority on March 17, 1982. On January 30, 1987, NSTA was elevated to become the Department of Science and Technology under Executive Order Number 128. Through EO 128, the DOST is also authorized to establish regional offices. On July 31, 1990, the Republic Act 6959 was enacted. This leads to the establishment of PSTCs in every province in 1991. Through the years, the PSTCs evolved from being field offices of DOST with basic facilities and meager resources to frontline innovation centers in the provinces harnessing science, technology, and innovations for countryside development. 1990 to 1993 marked the planting of the seeds of S&T development. 1994 to 2001 were the years of creating S&T building blocks in the countryside. Mainstreaming of S&T in the countryside highlights the years 2002 to 2009. Strengthening the foundation and leveling up happened from 2010 to 2016, and we look forward to an innovation-driven future from 2017 onwards. The years 1990 to 1993 marked the beginning of the S&T development in the countryside. This is indeed the planting of the seeds of S&T development. During these years, most of the PSTCs were established in state colleges or universities in the provinces. PSTCs struggled to take shape as a relevant government agency in the province, providing basic technology transfer services and fundamental technology trainings to rural communities with very limited resources. Through this, the groundwork of S&T development had been laid out in the countryside.
I have been a scholar of the OST from high school up to my college years. And so I thought there is no better way for me to give back to the government, to give back to the Filipino people, than to serve them at the Department of Science and Technology. And so I became one of the pioneering PSTC personnel when I served at the Iloilo Provincial Science and Technology Center. Those were indeed very challenging times. We have a meager budget and very basic facilities. Most of us were also quite young then. We hardly had any contacts with other government agencies or the LGUs or other organizations for that matter. We were also practically learning on the job, since most of us have limited technical experience. But I believe that our youth was also our greatest strength because we were full of energy. We were very committed to our work, and we all believe in our dreams of a better life for Filipinos through science and technology.
Naalala ko po na nakakatawa yung mga una kong experience sa DOST dahil ang mga technology na aking tinututukan noon ay unang-una yung ating pong soap making. Natuto po akong gumawa ng sabon kahit ako po ay isang inhinyero. Natuto rin po akong mag-process ng isda dahil yun po ang abundant na raw material doon sa probinsya ngayon. Dahil nga po sa kawalan ng budget, kung makikita niyo po yung aming opisina noon, sa umaga ito ay opisina, sa gabi ito ay boarding house. At dito po ako natutulog.
Challenging but exciting. That was the feeling then when we were deployed to establish the presence of DOST and its services in the province of Basilan in 1992. It was challenging because as a native of Basilan, I have witnessed a somewhat laid-back and sluggish economy. People are mainly dependent on coconut and rubber farming. Some are into fishing, but mostly are engaged in trading and commerce. And they are used to these conventional ways of earning for living. This makes a difficult setting to bring forth new economic activities. It's a huge challenge to convince them to go into product value adding, into increasing productivity and improving quality of their products. The extra challenge was being the S&T coordinator and at the same time the janitor, the messenger, the clerk, and the driver rolled into one, which I guessed we at the PSTCs have mastered the craft of changing hats whenever it is called for. If our services are needed in the not-so-safe municipalities, we have that mixed feeling of excitement to reach that place, and at the same time, anxious to get back in one piece. But my 3 years stint in Basilan was overall a gratifying experience, especially when we start seeing the sincere smiles of the people we served and witness their enthusiasm in engaging new ways to earn a living. We believe we have started the path to fruitful S&T journey in the province.
After the challenging years of introducing science and technology in the countryside, the PSTC started to create the building blocks of S&T from 1994 to 2001. Niche S&T programs and services were developed. Networks and linkages with strategic partners were initiated to generate resources. The development of S&T culture is strengthened through the Science and Technology Scholarship Act of 1994.
We have to create our niche in the first few years. We have to struggle for our identity. We have limited funds, so we have to be creative in leveraging, in creating strategic partnerships with other NGAs, with LGUs, with SUCs, just so we could stretch our resources and create impact for our pedal technologies. At first, these technologies were hard sell, and as simple as food processing, handmade paper making, low-cost laundry soap production, essential oil production, rapid composting, and others. But as soon as people realized that this could generate economic activities, they looked twice and asked more from us. We started getting more requests for training, for technology assistance, but much to our desire to accommodate all of this, we were still saddled with our meager resources. It was fortunate that as we were strengthening our technology commercialization mandate, the RA 7687 or the 1994 Science and Technology Scholarship Act came into being. With this, our science promotion mandate firmed up.
From being an outlier, S&T had been mainstreamed in countryside development through the efforts of PSTC in the years 2002 to 2009. The Small Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program or SETUP had been implemented starting 2002. PSTC became a sought-after partner and relevant agency for SME and countryside development. Science and technology had been fully integrated in the provincial and regional development agenda.
2002 to 2009, thank God meron na tayong flagship program which is the Small Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program, yung SETUP. Nag-mainstream na mga PSTCs. This time, hindi na tayo nang hihingi ng atensyon. Tayo nang hinahanap. We are called to every meetings. We are invited to plannings, workshops. Parang parate nandoon tayo kasi ang need for technology nandoon at alam nila we can provide that assistance. Tinatawag nila tayo during meetings of the Solid Waste Management Committee, Water Resources Management, kasama rin tayo sa Disaster Mitigation and Management, and of course, sa SME Development, yung SMED Council for every provinces. Parating tawag nila is DOSE kasi kasama tayo sa productivity and innovation.
SETUP is one of the USIS programs that really has a great impact at the countryside. It generated a lot of employment and made small businesses competitive. Being at the front line, I am privileged to watch small businesses grow and made an impact to the community. With very few personnel, we have to be creative and innovative in order to fulfill our commitment. Our role is very demanding, but it is very rewarding.
With the institutionalized programs and services, more clients approached PSTC for a package of assistance. This is the start of the leveling up of its programs and services from 2010 to 2016. Huge budget and more resources were provided to help more MSMEs in the countryside. Immediate technological solutions for long-term problems of the communities were provided through DOST HITS programs, and extensive MSME support programs were provided through food innovation centers, one store, one expert, and one lab. Moreover, the countryside development programs have been expanded, making S&T felt by every Filipino.
Starting 2010, we shifted to a higher level of science and technology interventions, thus expanding our presence in the countryside. We become the frontline implementers of various high-impact and pioneering projects, especially on harnessing ICT for health service delivery, disaster management, S&T promotion, and support to innovation initiatives of our SMEs. Health services become more accessible in the countryside with our SBACS project. PSTCs are also actively participating in implementation of various components of Project NOAA, an ICT-based disaster management, such as the installation of automated rain gauges, water level monitoring, automated weather stations, and 3D LiDAR mapping, among others. We are also into innovation-driven pioneering projects like food innovation centers, the digital fabrication laboratory, such as Bohol Fab Lab, the first of its kind in the country, that provides space for innovators of the grassroots level.
2010 to 2016 saw the shining moments of PSTCs. We can consider these years na nag-level up na tayo ang mga PSTCs. We are innovation-driven na. For our setup ISSF for MSMEs beneficiaries, one store project is an assistance wherein they can display the products and the buyers can do the purchases online. Another one is one lab, which is helping them to look and submit samples for analysis. HITS, or the high-impact technologies, were implemented through our complementary food production, which is the Rice Mongo Baby Food Blend, a simple technology from FNRI that helped feed 3,000 first-degree malnourished children in our province. TBIs, Technology Business Incubators, we collaborated with Bacolod Negros Occidental Federation of ICT, wherein IT equipment for startups were provided to become independent business entities to develop their skills and knowledge in ICT entrepreneurship. All of these have shown that inclusive growth, or agham na ramdam, was really felt in every corner of the province.
The PSTCs, through its hardworking and dedicated personnel, have been consistent in supporting regional line agencies in improving the quality of life in the provinces. They have proven that more significant accomplishments can be achieved with limited resources. As of 2015, the setup program provided a total of 2.5 billion pesos of innovation system support, providing 45,462 technology interventions to 26,673 MSMEs, generating 146,728 jobs in the countryside. Along with these milestones are the enhancement of the quality of the delivery of services through ISO 9001 certification of all PSTCs. Some of the regional offices and PSTCs have been given the most coveted Philippine Quality Awards for its performance excellence. Above all, PSTCs etched significant impacts on the lives of our rural entrepreneurs.
Maraming salamat po sa DOST for your coming in at sa lahat ng tulong na naibigay nyo sa Tagum Golden Foods. Through this setup program, lumawak ang aking market locally and also pagpasok namin to the ASEAN market. Mabuhay DOST!
Pero sa totoo lang, here, among the poor, frontliner pala ang mga DOST. Because you're the ones who really mean a lot for these people. Mag-usap na sila nung kanilang kalye. Sa aming mga lugar na walang kalye, nakakarating yung know-how ninyo. We don't need the streets and the roads sometimes eh. All we need is the know-how. Then people will be able to go down the mountains with products that will give them a livelihood. Yun yung kayo po. Yun po ang DOST. And I believe frontliners pala kayo. You may not be part of the news headlines ng mga dyaryo. But for the people here, the grassroots, frontliners kayo. And what you do, yun ang headliners.
The PSTCs indeed have achieved 25 glorious years of excellent S&T service, but it will continue to envision for another 25 years of innovation-driven future for our country. Smarter communities have to be fully achieved. More resources are needed to empower PSTCs and become the innovative solution providers in the countryside.
Be part of the new generation for the PSTC workforce. We will pursue our vision and we will carry on our commitment with passion to inspire so that science will be felt by everyone and one.
This is the best time for the new generation of PSTC since almost everything has already been laid out by our frontrunners in PSTC, and thanks to them. And the best way to honor their efforts is for us as the new generation of PSTC workforce to commit ourselves to carry on the torch, continue the legacy, and envision another 25 years of glorious S&T service in the countryside. Today, I envision for the next 25 years of PSTC to create an innovation-driven economy for our country. Whatever changes that we could have, we will still carry on the same spirit, the same enthusiasm, the same working attitudes that have been passed on by our frontrunners in the PSTC. So with everything that is set by our frontrunners in the PSTC, we, the new generation of PSTC, are now prepared to face another 25 years of science and technology service in the rural and countryside.
If this can be imagined, this should be done.
Indeed, the S&T development in the countryside has reached its greater heights. But this year opens another chapter as the new generation of PSTCs embraces the next 25 years of S&T breakthroughs in the countryside. The PSTC legacy lives on. The PSTC in the service of the Filipino people through science, technology, and innovation.